All businesses now are using technology, email, internet access, but what do you do when you need some help getting that up and going or fixed? Well, it's not always cost effective to have a full-time person on internally. You outsource it. We've got Richard Lambert from Blue Edge Technology Solutions. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
So outsourcing, it's cheaper?
It's cheaper, yes. You look at the costs of having a full-time IT employee on staff, everything from the actual salary to the benefits, etc., and the range of expertise that's required for most business networks these days. By providing outsourcing, we can do the small stuff when it's required, and when you need to bring in a network engineer, much more cost effective to bring them in on an as-per basis. Much less expensive.
Well, it's a good point because I've struggled with this a lot with a lot of the small businesses I've been involved with. You bring in an IT guy, and there's just so much stuff to know. They can't know everything.
Absolutely. Even on our own staff, we can't have people that know every single aspect of every single network. So we have ranges of specialty. We have a security fellow on staff. We have people that specialize in email and external connectivity. And then the day-to-day operations, applications that are specific to business. Not just your Microsoft Word or Outlook, but BlackBerry Enterprise Server, CRM solutions. We have the technical staff that deals specifically with those, because once you get involved in those, you can't be an expert on every single one of those. You just can't. It's impossible.
So what kind of size businesses would you deal with?
On the small end, typically anybody that has a network server and 5 or more business class workstations, that's the very, very low end. But typically our sweet spot is for businesses in the 40 to 80 zone, enough that they need a significant IT presence without really wanting to go the effort or the trouble of bringing in somebody in-house. There's enough network overhead in those kind of situations. You're dealing with network servers, you're dealing with client workstations, custom applications. Security is a big one. You know yourself, viruses, spyware, all that sort of thing, keeping that at bay. There's enough overhead administratively that it makes sense to bring somebody in.
You know, one criticism would be that not having the IT guy on site, like your own guy, it's going to take longer to get the outsourced guys to come in and fix problems. How do you answer that?
Our clients, we tend to be relationship driven, and I know that's mentioned a lot, but the reality is to get to know a network, to get to know the way a company does business, each one is unique. It does take a while to get up to speed with how they do things. Typically what we do is we have a key technician or two that provides the services for that client, and we rotate in other staff members on a more casual basis, perhaps to shadow an existing job, just to fill in and get familiar with it, so that if the first technician is sick and somebody else has to come in, they're not coming in a complete vacuum. They have an understanding of what's going on. So we have a special rotation schedule that we have with our clients and with our own staff. So nobody's ever in a lurch. We have a good idea of how to take care of the business.
Can you tell small businesses how much they should budget for their IT? Is that kind of a hard thing?
That's really tough, because each business, you can look at some of the businesses we deal with, $25-50 million a year, and they're operating with an office staff of 5 or 6 people. Obviously not a big IT profile there.
No.
And then you look conversely, we just took on a client here recently. They have a very high IT presence based on the number of staff members they have. Out of 35 people on staff, about 30 of them are IT related. Now, they're outsourcing for the reasons that they're just spread so thin, and some of the focus for their own IT department is for their own applications, their own solutions. But the actual foundation of what they do, they're handing that off simply because it's too much trouble to deal with that and their core business model as well.
Well, Richard, people obviously can find out more information at your website, blueedgetech.ca?
Blueedgetech.ca.
Everything you need to know.
Everything you need to know.
Richard Lambert from Blue Edge Technology Solutions, all about outsourcing for your small, medium business.
Let's get ourselves connected.